Hello, everybody. It's Salabama back again with another update and for my Minecraft world. Picking up right where we left off last time, showing you I've been AFK here for a while at the string farm and been getting great results. In today's episode, we're going to be making lots of concrete, and that concrete is going to be used for some pretty massive farms I'm going to be producing. Uh, just a quick look, you see the large kind of rainbow style building to the left there. Uh, that we're going to basically be copying a identical version of and putting it right beside it. If you've seen our world tour, episode 1, there's all types of good stuff in the first building. It's all of our crops, so wheat, potatoes, carrots. In the second building, I think I'm going to end up putting things like sugarcane, watermelons, pumpkins, bamboo, stuff like that will be good to farm, especially in large quantities. So I'm going to be making a whole bunch of concrete here. You can see I'm just cutting around, just getting the materials I need. Lots of sand, lots of gravel. And we're going to be doing this pretty old school. I don't have a concrete maker or one of those redstone machines where you can put down the concrete and it'll push it through some pistons. So you're going to have a few time lapses here of me just grinding out some concrete powder and placing it in water. But we'll be going quick through that. First, just need to pick up the right types of dye. So we got to come to our dye house after going to our sorting system. And the reason these are separate, there's so many dyes in the game and so many colorful blocks that sorting them all out would just be quite a chore. So it's just easier, I find, to put them all together. And you see, I'm kind of struggling. I'm kind of just deciding which colors I really want and what I want the theme, really, like the vibe of the build to be. So eventually I settle on some light blue, white, and cyan. We don't have much cyan, but we do have a flower garden, or like one of those flower farms that we can get all types of dye from. So that's not too big of a deal if we need it down the road. I mostly need white concrete. I'm thinking I'm going for more of a laboratory build. The last big farm was more of a I want it to be sort of more of a old school, like a modern build meets medieval farm. So that's where that first design came from, and we're gonna mimic it to some degree because we want it to look somewhat all on theme. But this time, just due to what the nature of what we're mining, it's not gonna be by hand. All of these are gonna be automated farms. And so I wanted it because it's all automated and it's going to be all kind of high tech in comparison to the first farm. I would want to take that theme into the build too. So we have all our concrete powder now. And so now we have to turn the concrete powder into regular concrete. And we do that just by putting it in water. It just needs any water source. So I would quickly make a dig. And oh, look how good I am at flying through the building now. I like that did not come right away. That's some practice. Okay, so there we go. Ready to set it off. And I don't really know where to do this. I don't work with concrete all that often. So I'm looking around in the river and I'm like wherever I can put a lot down. And it seems like there's a little chunk here, a little square out that I can put some down. So I'm just gonna go for it. Here's gonna be a quick time lapse. Not really quick, honestly. There's gonna be about 5 minutes or something of me placing concrete powder down and mining it. And so I've been going back and forth on whether I really want to be showing all of this stuff or not. And I kind of do. I don't know if this is the best format for it, but I really want it to be like, this is my Minecraft world and this is my experience. And well, a huge part of Minecraft is the grind. And so I've been making it into time lapses, and I don't know, maybe people can tell me what they think if it they like watching all the grinding, and it goes kind of fast. I know for some people, the video going this fast can disorient them a little bit. So I've been trying to fiddle around with maybe not so fast. Like I've been speeding it up so much and maybe a little bit less. But Minecraft is quite a grindy game, so it's about balancing it. I've already, you can see in my videos I make a bunch of little cuts where I cut out things like when I go to sleep, or if I'm just getting some materials from the sorting system. Just like because that stuff, it's not really progressing the world any, and I guess that's really what I'm trying to show is things that are progressing our world forward. Uh, and so I guess I consider like something like this even getting all the concrete powder part of it, because if you're in survival and you don't have a redstone system to do this, this is pretty much the only way to get a large quantity of uh, concrete powder or concrete. You just have to place all the concrete powder down. So and it does spur me to like it kind of gives me an incentive to make some sort of redstone contraption to automate this. And I know so it's another Bedrock versus Java edition, where in Java you can make these concrete contraptions that are connected to TNT duplicators, and those duplicators will just constantly be going off, exploding the concrete, and that concrete will get collected. But in Bedrock, there's no TNT duplication, which kind of sucks, but also like good that there's not duplication. But so I think what we would have to do in Bedrock, and I can look into this more about what I'm gonna do. I got to think about it more. Is what I really mean to say is just cube it up. We're gonna take some pistons to push it through some water, the concrete powder that is, and push that into a cube, and then we'd have to mine that manually. So that's something for a future project, and that's kind of what I'm trying to do here. These videos give me ideas for things I need to do in the world, which is a good way to stay active on a Minecraft world, really, is kind of talking about the things you need to do and want to do. And so now we have all of the concrete powder done, and so making a concrete powder redstone producer device is definitely, it's on my radar for redstone projects I want to do. So now that we have all the concrete powder, we can I'm gonna throw it all in a shulker box actually and get some more resources. The next thing we want is a lot of stone brick, because that is what the bulk of, no, maybe not the bulk, I mean, it's mostly windows, but it's what the floor is made out of and the supports for our building. So we're gonna have to also terraform the area, and I told you guys before I'm not a huge fan of terraforming, so it's not gonna be that much fun, but it's not too much. We're just flattening out the land a little bit. It's mostly just raising blocks either one or lowering them down one. So you see here, I'm just quickly, I wanted to count out. I can't remember how big this building even is. It ends up being a 41 by 41 build, so pretty big. And it's let me think. It goes from Y69 here to Y99, so 40 blocks tall, so 41 by 41 by 40. It's pretty much a perfect cube, honestly. So it'll give us huge amounts of space to farm. You can tell I didn't really use it that efficiently in the first build. You can just look over the crops, or it's just crops basically, which are important. I will never ever say that large scale crop farming in Minecraft is not an important thing or a worthwhile thing to do. So now we're gonna first lay out the perimeter of this build, and then I'm gonna go through and everything within that perimeter I'm going to try to flatten, make it all on the same level, and then fill in the floor and light it all up. So you see there's lots of trees, and this is what I was talking about before. I like showing the grind, because mining these trees and leveling it all out is it's where the bulk of Minecraft comes from. Like kind of enjoying the build and living in it and doing stuff with it is kind of almost secondary. I don't know why I'm standing around here so long, but I guess I'm contemplating something. So back to it now. You just you see how you divide up the blocks, and this is something I recommend doing if you don't want to count it out or how many blocks something is just put how many blocks in your inventory and place them, and that's how you know how far you've gone. And you see, actually, I made a mistake there, where I was under the impression it was only 40, even though I know it's 41, and so I'm like, why can't I figure this out? And so I go around and count it, and I'm like, I see, it's not quite right. You gotta go 1 and 1 over. So you see, I'm just gonna knock this pillar out, and no, not really a pillar, more of a row, and just put the next row beside it. So yeah, going into it though, what this you might be wondering why are you building such a huge farming space when you already have such a big farming space? And I kind of gave a little prelude to it before, but this is going to be for different types of automated farms. And so there's lots of different types of automated farms, but I'm still going to be doing some of the more simple automations. I'm going to be doing, for sure, sugarcane and bamboo, as well as pumpkins and watermelon. If you guys want to give me some more ideas of some other things I can farm large scale fairly easily, just comment it or DM me. Obviously, cactus are another really good thing you can AFK and just get large quantities of. So probably fit that in somewhere. So we really just want to get as much as we can. And so the other advantage of building this right beside our other building is, well, not only can we AFK at one and have the other one be working, or the crops growing at least, and things in the other one will be automatically mining as they grow, but I also plan to combine the sorting systems at the very bottom. And so because these builds are so close together, and the sorting system of the crop farm's already going towards this new farm, I think it's going to work out fairly well. And we can make one super big sorting system. That way we also don't have to go back and forth between the builds so much. We can just go right to the sorting system when we need items. And that's going to be really important for long-term living. And honestly, as for someone who's, I've been playing Minecraft since oh man, before beds, but I can tell you that anything you can do to make your world long term more efficient, even if it's gonna save you, like, let's say even something like 10 seconds every time you go and get resource, and it isn't gonna save us more than 10 seconds, but just hypothetically, like lowballing it. If once you play on the world for 1 or 2 years or even longer, like hopefully, it's really you're gonna notice the difference. Like, it's gonna end up saving you hours and hours. And anyone who doesn't want hours worth of time save in Minecraft, I'm not gonna say anything, but I definitely do want those time saves. So we can see I've almost done here setting out the perimeter. It definitely looks like there was a creeper explosion there. Just gonna cover that up. And I know a lot of people think you should cover up the entire thing, like dig the dirt down. And I'm definitely one of those people. So, but I guess I'm also a hypocrite because I just didn't do it. So it's gonna be like that. Maybe one day I'll fix it. But definitely, I do advocate when you can to. You definitely want to be tearing up that or filling in the whole ground. And that's because if another creeper comes, it's going to be so much more damage. Or if you don't fill it up properly, your mobs are going to be spawning down there. Even you see what I'm doing here, leaving a 1 wide layer. There's torches there, and I'm hoping those torches will be enough to prevent any spiders from spawning. But even a 1 wide layer, just you have to remember that spiders will spawn. And if you have farms, which, like, right beside this farm is our slime farm, obviously, and the skeleton farm, and those will definitely be affected by these wasted spaces for mobs to spawn. So definitely want to be wary of that. There's been too often where I haven't thought about all the little nooks and crannies that mobs can spawn, and I end up eating it in the butt because now they don't have to look around everywhere and dig out holes in your building and fill it in with torches or blocks. And It's one of those things that I was just talking about before, saving you time in the long run, where if you just have torches or something down there, or just go ahead and fill in every block, you will definitely be better off. And you definitely, you always, you want to be, always better be safe than sorry, especially in Minecraft. This isn't a hardcore world, but you always kind of want to be in that mindset. You see, I carry around a totem of undying everywhere. Minecraft Bedrock Edition, I guess I should mention, is a little different than Java Edition, obviously. But in terms of the right hand mechanic, or the left hand, I suppose, the left hand mechanic, in Bedrock Edition, you can only hold, I believe, shields or maps or totems of undying. Where in in Java, you can hold anything in your left hand. So food, shovels, any item, I believe, or block. So it's much more limited on Bedrock. So there's a bit of a tangent, anyways. My point is, I always have a Totem of Undying on me because it's one of the only items you could have in your left hand in Bedrock Edition, anyways. But you never want to die. I don't want to lose all my levels, all of my good gear, and honestly, I haven't died in a while. And I don't really plan on dying. I'm not sure. In Java Edition, the longer you live, there's an internal score counter that will keep going up, and when you die, you'll see your final score. Uh, there might be something like that in Bedrock. I'm not actually sure. It's been a little bit since I've actually died. Just because of Totems of Undying. Not to sound too braggy, just like you get to a certain point and it becomes a little bit. If you're not doing anything too crazy, it's kind of hard to die just from the natural surroundings and environment. And the more you build out your base, and if you're building out a town, the further that safe area kind of spans out. And that's part of the reason we want to build a town, is we want that safe region to go further and further outwards. And not that any new people will ever join the server. I'm not saying they won't, but we haven't had any interest or anyone want to join, so I doubt it. But if anyone never does join, it'd be nice if they don't just get destroyed when they enter our world. It actually looks like someone lives here. And this is why we need the concrete. You see, this building is you have the black concrete, and that's, I guess, going to represent crops, because the white concrete, that's what I'm using here, so I had to make sure we get the right size, is going to represent everything we're going to put in here. The automation, the more scientific, technical builds, I guess. So it's kind of cool just seeing this giant platform here, and we can finally slow down the video coming to an end. We can really come to appreciate all the work we actually did this episode. There's a lot of concrete made, a lot of terraforming done, and now we have the good starts to our build. So with that, I guess I'll end off, and I'll see everybody next time.